Hey YouTube, it's James from the Wyvern Watch again here with another deck profile. This is actually my latest deck, so this is number 44 of a possible 44 as it currently stands. By the way guys, there will be a 45th deck. I've decided what I'm going to be doing. I'm not going to tell you straight away what it is. However, if you fancy leaving a comment in the description as to a guess as to what it might be, bearing in mind up and coming new product, certainly for next year I believe it's coming, then feel free to have a quick guess, and I'll who guesses first, I'll announce the winner in the next video, of course. But this one is one I've wanted to build for a while actually, but with the introduction of Armed Neos, I've decided to go ahead and sort it out and put it all together. So we've got the Armed Dragon Thunder deck with a little bit of elemental hero action, which is something I've wanted to do for a little while. I've never wanted to put a hero deck together as such, but I just wanted to put an element of it, an element in inverted commas, into a deck. So this is the one I've decided to go with. Let's just run through it, guys. So starting with the big fellas themselves. So we've got the Armed Dragon Thunder level 10 and Armed Dragon level 10. I've only got the one of each, just to give you the option. You can see the Thunder level 10 is the Starlight option, which is I picked up for not very much money at all, because it's not exactly a popular deck, this one, but still a great looking card. And I thought, well, if I'm going to build it, I may as well have it in the Starlight, and also the ultimate rare Armed Dragon level 10, just to keep it a little bit OG, shall we say. Armed Dragon Thunder level 10 though is this card was special summoned by the effect of an Armed Dragon monster. It gains the following effects based on its attack. One or more, it becomes Armed Dragon level 10. 10 or more, control of it cannot switch. So 100 more, it can't be destroyed by battle. And 1,000 or more, once per turn, quick effect, you can send one card from your hand to the graveyard, then target one other card on the field and destroy it. And if you do, this card gains 1,000 attack. And last but not least is 10,000 or more. Once per turn, you can destroy all other cards on the field. It's pretty rare that you're going to get it to 10,000, but you know, if you do, it's a nice little addition there. Armed Dragon level 10, of course, is the OG version, so it cannot be normal summoned or set, must be special summoned from your hand by attributing one Armed Dragon level 7. You can send one card from your hand to the graveyard, destroying all face-up monsters your opponent controls. It becomes more apparent that's why that's in the deck with a few other additions to the deck. Then, as you can expect, I've got 3 Armed Dragon level 3. All the Armed Dragons basically do the same thing, but with slight differences. So this card names becomes Armed Dragon level 3, so ignoring the Thunder side of things, while on the field or in the graveyard, and you can only use each of the following effects of Armed Dragon level 3 once per turn. You can send one monster from your hand to the graveyard and send this card from the field to the graveyard, and if you do, special summon level 5 or lower Armed Dragon monster from your hand or deck. And if this card is sent to the graveyard to activate a dragon monster's effect, you can draw one card. So this is the weaker of the effects, but obviously it is the level 3 version, so you'd expect that. So you get your draw with this particular one, but you need to make sure that all the Thunder Dragon effects, of course, are once per turn. So you need to make sure when you're going through the cycle of leveling up, you're using the right one at the right time, because if you end up with trying to use 2 at the same time, obviously it's not going to work. Armed Dragon Thunder level 5, 3 of again. Also becomes, you know, the name thing is obviously fairly consistent throughout them. You can only use the following effects of Armed Dragon level once per turn. You can send one monster from your hand to the graveyard, and special, you know, the usual special summon things, and then this one obviously gets a level 7 or lower Armed Dragon monster from your hand or deck. When this card is sent to the graveyard to activate a dragon monster's effect, you can add one level 5 or higher wind dragon monster from your deck to your hand. So this is where we start being quite specific as to what we're actually going to get from the deck. And obviously your target will be important depending on what you want to level up to. This might be one of the options you go for. This is the Armed Dragon Thunder level 7, of course. again, and a fairly standard 3 of. Usual effects, so you can set, that's going to special summon. Send this card from special summon 1 level 10 or lower armed dragon monster from your hand or deck. If this card is sent to the graveyard to activate a dragon monster's effect, you can add 1 armed dragon card from your deck to hand. And that's an armed dragon card, not armed dragon monster, so that allows you to go and search for your spells and traps. Not that I'm running any traps in this particular deck. Massive addition to the deck. This is Pile Armed Dragon, so still an armed dragon card, although not one of the level ones. This is slightly different, so you can send 1 other wind dragon monster or 1 other level 7 or higher dragon monster from your hand to the graveyard. Special summon this card from your hand. You can send 1 armed dragon monster from your hand or deck to the graveyard, except Pile Armed Dragon. Then target 1 face-up monster you control. That targeted monster gains attack equal to the level of the monster sent to the graveyard times 300. Until the end of the turn. You can only attack with this, with 1 monster this turn. So slight negative there, but more often than not, if we're going in for one of the larger levels, or indeed one of these guys, you've probably only got 1 on the field. You might have 2, depending on the your opening hand, of course. Another addition is Artillery Catapult Turtle, a good normal summon on this one, so you can target tribute 1 monster, which is normally going to be this one, special summon 1 Gaia the Fierce Knight monster, no thank you, or 1 level 5 dragon monster from your hand or deck. Obviously we're going to go for Dragon Thunder level 5 on that one, so a nice little easy normal summon. And again another normal summon, which is the only iffy part of the deck really that I'm not 100% sure about, is Armed Dragon the Armed Dragon. Armoured Dragon, I should say. It's level 4, it's wind, it fits the deck, obviously it's got the name, but it doesn't really work with the others. So when this card is destroyed, destroys an opponent's monster by battle, which it might do, it's got an attack of 1900, you can special summon 1 level 5 or lower wind dragon monster from your hand or deck. So that's obviously going to get either level 5 or level 3. But it can't attack this turn. It's not a massive issue because you might be able to level it up, but it's just the attack thing. Obviously it's relying on being able to actually destroy an opponent's monster by battle, so that's not always the easiest thing. It fits the deck, not 100%. We might need to think about that one. And then obviously just a few one-offs separate to the Armed Dragon theme. So we've got a Tempest Dragon Rule of Storms. It's a wind deck. Again, I do seem to sort of draw to myself to a wind deck. We know what Tempest does. I did think about Blaster as well. Now it's being off the ban list, but I just decided it's off theme too much. I do have a Dino Wrestler Pancratops, which is a little bit off theme, but it is level 7, as is Blaster in fairness. A fairly simple special summon, and obviously I've got a few rank 7s available. I've also got a fairly unusual one. I've got a Heavenly Zephyr Miradora, which again is a level 7 light monster. I'll run through this one. So the activation of and effects of this card's effects cannot be negated. If your opponent special summons a monster with 2000 or more attack from the extra deck, except during the damage step, you can special summon this card from your hand. Full stop. If this card is special summoned from the hand, you can target 1 face-up monster that was special summoned from the extra deck. Neither player can activate that monster's effects while this monster's face up on the field. You can only use the effect of this monster once per turn. A nice little addition. I just thought, again, it's wind, it's level 7, it's a dragon type, it fits. And last but not least, of course, is the man himself, Elemental Hero Neos, and I managed to pick up one of the quarter century ones. Not that they're difficult to get hold of, but I just thought absolutely beautiful looking card, and obviously a necessity to go Neos Fusion. So that's sort of the main brick in the deck, if you like, but only one off, doesn't come up very often. Into spells then, so we've got 3 Armed Dragon Flash. Flash by Name, Flash by Nature. This is a quick effects spell card. Special summon level 3 Armed Dragon monster from your deck in defense position, and you can only activate one Armed Dragon Flash once per turn. So dead easy, obviously going straight for level 3 there, and hopefully comboing off in there. Fairly simple stuff. And the only other 2 Armed Dragon cards I've got are these 2. So we've got Armed Dragon Lightning, Armed Dragon Blitz. Both searchable, of course, with well, 1 or 2 cards actually we've mentioned. Lightning, if an Armed Dragon monster you control will be destroyed by a card effect, you can send this card to the graveyard instead. You can target 1 Armed Dragon monster you control, then activate one of these effects. It gains attack equal to its level times 100. Or add 1 Armed Dragon monster with equal or lower level than it from your graveyard to your hand. Just obviously starts comboing off. Obviously, continuous spell, can do it once per turn. And then the Blitz card is target 1 Armed Dragon monster you control. Take 1 monster with the same name from your deck or graveyard and either add it to your hand or special summon it, ignoring its summoning conditions. But it cannot attack directly. You can only activate 1 Armed Dragon Blitz per turn. So again, looking for a potential Xyz play maybe, or even go for one of the fusion plays as well. First time I've run this in a deck. I've had them for ages actually, but first time I've actually run them. Neos Fusion. We all know what Neos Fusion does, well most of us will do, I'd imagine. Special summon 1 fusion monster from your extra deck that lists exactly 2 monsters as material, including elemental hero Neos, by sending those monsters from your hand, deck or graveyard, ignoring its summon conditions. For the rest of the turn, after this card resolves, you can special summon monsters. You cannot special summon monsters. If a fusion monster you control that is list elemental hero Neos as material would be destroyed by battle card effect, you can or shuffled into the extra deck by its own effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard instead. So a little bit of protection there as well. But obviously we're going for Mr. Neos, Armed Neos, again in the quarter century rare, which I don't think you can actually pick up on the screen for some reason. I don't know why it would do with. Can't actually see that, can you? No idea. But that's really weird. That I've not noticed that. Has it not got a stamp? It is there. Just see it off camera a sec. You got me wondering now. No, it's definitely there. I just can't pick it up. There it is. You got it there. Must have been all the sleeves and everything getting in the way. But yeah, so again, not vastly expensive, but I thought if we're going to go for it, we're only going to run the 1 of them, so we'll have a quarter century one as well, looking really pretty. Neos Fusion, thank you. Okay, and it's a Thunder deck, so I thought, first time ever I have ever run 3 Raigeki in a deck. We all know what it does, of course, but I thought this deck actually appropriate, so we're going to have 3 of them. And, you know, it's not a once per turn. We can just keep smashing everyone's lineups in and see how it goes. Bit of a go second option as well. We've also picked up Dark Ruler No More. You know, this deck is not difficult to get around. It's not a meta deck by any stretch of the imagination, but it is really good fun to play. But being allowed to play it on the second turn is difficult if your opponent's already set up. So this might just help you out to get your ball rolling. We also run 2 Return of the Dragon Lords. Fairly simple stuff, we've seen that before, and 1 Harpy's Feather Duster. Again, with it being a wind deck, I just thought it's appropriate. That is the main deck for Armed Dragon Thunder. Let's move into the extra deck. Obviously, we've already spoke about the man himself. That's Armed Neos, and the options that, well, I'll just read Armed Neos as well, just so everyone's clear. If this card is special summoned, you can choose 1 dragon monster in your graveyard and destroy all monsters your opponent controls with an equal or lower level than it. When this card destroys a monster by battle, you can make this card gain the following effect. During the main phase quick effect, you can tribute this card, special summon 1 elemental hero fusion monster from your extra deck, ignoring its summoning conditions. So I've gone for the following elemental heroes, all of which the more experienced elemental hero players will recognise and understand, whereas I'm fairly new to it, so I believe these ones will probably cause the most damage. Obviously this guy's an absolutely huge guy at 3500, 3100, 25, but they've also got their own effects as well. I'm not going to go through them, you guys know them better than I do, but that is my elemental hero lineup. And then a few more standard stuff really. So we've got a Tornado Dragon, which is pretty standard in my rank when it's available as a rank 4. Dark Rebellion Xyz Dragon, sporting the original Platinum Secret Rare, which was everyone's cup of tea, but actually I quite like it now. It's grown on me. I've got the Odd Eye Rebellion package to go on the back of Dark Rebellion, so we can go into either of those bad boys. We've got, just because it fits the theme, we've got the Dark Armed, the Dragon of Annihilation. Just about make it out there. I'll move these out of the way. There we go. We've got, of course, a Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon, a Mecha Phantom Beast, Draco Sack, and a Divine Arsenal AA Zeus to end up with the Xyz package. Fairly standard stuff again. And finally, just a few links just to make sure we've always got an option. We've got a Nightmare Phoenix, of course, just to get rid of a few pesky spells or traps. Erratic Seal of Heavenly Spheres, pretty much standard in any dragon deck. And Borrelsword Dragon. I'd always like to have an impactful rank link 4 in a deck if I can squeeze it in, so that's why that's there. But again, you know, if you've got other options and you think I'm missing something, feel free to let me know. Guys, that is the deck. I really appreciate your time. Again, listening to me waffle on about it. One of my favourite archetypes, this, although, like I say, it's not the most powerful, but good fun to play nonetheless. Any options or any suggestions, please feel free to put in the comments, and do subscribe. Like I say, we're still a fledgling channel. We're approaching our 50 subscribers now, which is, we've made a little progress in the last few months, so really appreciate those guys who have done. Once we get to 50, obviously we're going to go for the big 100, aren't we? So I really appreciate it. Do hit the subscribe if you like the content. Feel free to make loads of comments, because like I say, I'm not the best player in the world. I'm not the best deck builder, but I do enjoy deck building, and this is why my channel's full of deck profiles. Thanks once again, guys. See you next time.